Fire Mage, wait for it. Mistweaver, Adrian, you forgot about the Mistweaver. When Drainer's waking up in the morning and he's counting through, am I going to play a Rest Paladin healer, a Holy Paladin healer, what am I going to pick? Well, he's going to play the Monk in game number 1, and this is going to be very interesting to see because usually they play with the Paladin, so it's going to be interesting to see here what the Monk can bring here and why they're favoring the Monk here. Game is open and the gates are open, and right now we're going to see Saza here being pressured by Blizzo. This is Blizzo's first game as well here, so very, very interesting stuff here. Basically the same comp except the Demon Hunter versus the Warrior here. Going to see who can pull ahead.
Yep, we will have to see. It's a bit of a shame to not see the way of the Crane, but I think this is the way of the Drain. Sorry about that one, but we've got Maro on the combustion immediately. He's popping his big damage, but it looks like he's actually the one taking the brunt of it. This is truly incredible because, like you said, we had so many different classes that we could see Drainer playing, and I don't think a single person, not even Super T's, would have predicted that the Mistweaver Monk would be the thing that we're seeing in the upper finals of the European region here today on finals day for AWC. Absolutely crazy stuff, but this is skill capped. They have Warrior, Mage, and Paladin, 3 of the strongest classes in the competition right now. And I mean, if Drainer can pull this off, it's going to be truly incredible, but so far, he's the one that's had to trade out the big cooldown as the bubble goes on to sand.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see, just kind of looking at the different talents that Drainer's playing. He's playing the Grapple Weapon, the Chrysalis to lower the cooldown of Life Cocoon, and then, of course, the Counteract Magic, which is going to give him a lot of healing on his Renewing Mist whenever Maro does damage to basically anyone that has Renewing Mist. So really, really interesting here from Drainer. Let's see if they can get it done. I wonder if they can actually win on mana with the Mistweaver Monk. Right now, a full Ring of Frost does land. Saza getting low. Keep in mind, Drainer, without that Life Cocoon, not going to have too much emergency healing to actually keep Saza alive. Also limited on breakers, so no longer does he have the Divine Shield as well as the Gladiator's Medallion. That being said, Maro on the back foot. Great crowd control being initiated here by Drainer as he moves forward with the Paralyze into a leg sweep. They get the Trinket from Asgrath. That was a great push from Creed.
That was really, really impressive stuff here, and so far they actually are in the lead on the side of Creed. Asgrath actually still very low here. They could potentially swap to him. No Trigger Saza though, dropping dangerously low. He's on fire right now. He has to use the ice block right there. Blizzo gets interrupted on the Shattering Throw, but the CC chain continues. Hammer of Just onto Drainer. Nice stop there on the Shatter by Tren, and that's going to allow Saza to recover fully here in that ice block now. Looking to get some crowd control here. Paralyzed onto Asgrath into a Sheep here, who is going to be the target here. Saza still not going to be able to do too much with this with the setup here, trying to run away, but nobody runs away from Blizzo here. Stormbolt comes in. Big damage there from Blizzo, but Saza activates the Alter Time, goes behind the pillar, and now he's going to teleport back. He gets a nice Life Cocoon here by Drainer before the Blinding Light comes out. Maro's looking for the Sheep. Can he find it? Trent is there and shuts it down. Double Dragon's Breath. Drainer has an opportunity to stop this as well. Nice Ring of Peace, and now Drainer here able to disarm Blizzo, dispel Trent, and keep Saza in the game. And now they're looking to set up aggressively here once again. Asgrath just bubbling here out of the Paralyze. Doesn't want to take any chances. We've seen what Creed can do with this Demon Hunter Fire Mage. So deadly when they get those setups and they use the hunt, Adrian.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a crazy composition, but the reason they're making it work is because they have such good players on those classes like Drainer with the Disarm, the Incap, all coming out at once. It takes so many different things at the same time to make the Mistweaver work, but Drainer so far seems like he's able to do so. They do have to be a little bit careful. Saza, of course, without that Ice Block, big defensive cooldown, but this is a huge swap. There's no Divine Shield on Asgrath, and they're throwing everything at him. They almost take him down. The Divine Protection and everything, able to keep him alive barely, but signs of life from Creed. Now the reversal, though.
Yeah, definitely a reversal. Interrupt on Drainer. Saza, no Ice Block, no Cauterize. Stormbolt, big damage. Can they take him down? There's no Life Cocoon. Drainer's going to have to get some healing out, but he's caught into a full Polymorph. However, Saza does manage to survive. The Renewing Mist, the Enveloping Mist, going to be enough. Now it gets reversed here on Maro. Imprisonment on Asgrath. Mana still in favor of the side of Creed, but they're looking flimsy in terms of defensives, and they're going to have to play defensive. I mean, one good push from Skill Capped could just close out this game.
Yeah, and we're going to see what are they going to do here. Saza doesn't have too much to work with. He gets the life cocoon there from Drainer, but still not out of the woods yet. He's trying to push in and get some crowd control here. He gets stunned up, trinkets, double Dragon's Breath, not able to find the sheep just yet. Now he does get the sheep here. This is the opportunity. Now it's time to get aggressive onto Morrow here. Saza still dangerously low though. Blizzo just putting out so much pressure, and that's going to be the pod, and Blizzo is going to come in with a big execute, and Skillcap will take game number 1 here with the Warrior, Mage, Paladin. Drainer on that Monk. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to take this one.
All right, that game number 1 victory going to Skillcapped here in this best of 5 series. We saw Drainer bringing out that Mistweaver. At this point, Super Teams, do we feel like that may have been a little bit of a mistake?
I'll be Super Teams for now then.
Healing stat. Sorry, I'm so used to throwing him the healing questions. I'm so sorry. Here,
I'll be now. Resident healer for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting, right? Like, this is the highest stakes competition of the entire year for AWC up to this point. This is kind of the culmination of season 1, and Drainer, he decides that Mistweaver Monk is the play for him. And I mean, to be honest, he looked brilliant on it. He got the pre-life cocoons, he got some beautiful disarming caps. I think he was even able to get a lot of CC on Asgraf, and they almost won this game without even having a Mortal Strike on their team or anything. It was just kind of ingenuity and high skill on those classes. But I mean, I don't want to spoil and say hey, the Mistweaver wasn't the right pick, but if there was a Holy Paladin there, maybe the game would have gone a little bit longer potentially. You have to give it to Drainer though. It was super close, and I mean, it's just so crazy too that Blizzo was the person on the bench for Skillcapped during the first series. Like, what a stacked roster.
Thank you, Sydney, for that answer. Appreciate it. But yeah, no, I mean, Trainer, I feel like is always the one, he plays every single spec, no matter healing spec, no matter what's good at the moment, which I think is always really fun to see, but it's risky as well. So we'll see if he keeps up with that Mistweaver for game number 2 here, but that is Skillcap's game number 1 victory. So how likely then are we to see them switch things up on the side of Creed?
100%. I mean, I think their thought process was they kind of anticipated a Shadow Priest. So I feel like the reason why they picked a Mistweaver was because they wanted to play against the Shadow Priest Fire Mage. Unfortunately for them, they met a Warrior. So Skillcap mixing it up, kind of throwing them a curveball in that game number 1. And it didn't work out for them. I do suspect, I still feel like the Demon Hunter Fire Mage isn't bad into what we're seeing Skillcap EU run, but we need to see the Paladin. The Paladin it gives you so much more flexibility with basically 2 get out of crowd control abilities with the Divine Shield and the Gladiator's Medallion, whereas the Mistweaver only has 1. And I just think it makes you a lot more durable in the matchup, especially when you're playing against a Warrior. So I think it's likely for Creed, if we do see a blind pick of the Warrior Fire Mage Paladin from Skillcap, it's going to be the same thing, except Drainer gets off the Mistweaver and he gets on the Paladin.
Okay, well, let's see what they decide to do here. Creed looking to tie things up. It's kind of always interesting. We've mentioned it so many times within the series already. Interesting to see what Creed decides to bring. I mean, they're always taking risks, always switching things up. So we'll see if they play that same comp or do switch things up. What about map choice, Zico? What do you think we might be seeing from Creed?
It really depends where they want to go with this. I feel like either you go new. I think map is not going to matter too much. I think you want to go somewhere kind of neutral, maybe Ashamains or maybe Tiger's Peak, because I feel like for Creed, they want to play Ellie Mage as well. I think Ellie Mage is a good matchup for them. So if they play against maybe Warrior Mage, they go Ellie Mage, and they want to play that on a big map, but they might run into the Shadow Priest Mage. So if they're blocking in blind, it's a bit hard. But on a counter pick, I think for them, they're going to try to do what Venruki said, set up the Mistweaver against the Shadow Priest, or just set up the Holy Paladin, potentially, if they face Warrior Mage again.
Well, we know that Skillcapped is the number 1 seeded team here out of these 4 teams. Healing Stat, if you were competing in this tournament here, do you feel like as a team you would be preparing the most for this team specifically, for this matchup against Skillcapped?
I mean, I think they have a target on their heads, right, for sure, and they are actually once again locking in the same matchup, which is...
I'm confused.
It's I mean, this is a small map, right? So I guess the mobility of the Mistweaver is pretty nice to have. It's nifty to get in and out, get crowd control, kind of escape with it. And I mean, one thing that we should emphasize, I guess, from that last game is it's not like it wasn't close, right? Like, they had a really, really explosive offense whenever they did go aggro. They got the Divine Shield from Ascraft, they almost took him down. And I mean, a part of that is Drainer, but another part of it is Tren on this Demon Hunter, right? Like, this guy is an absolute monster. He got the hunt in, gets big cooldowns out, and then just goes in. And like, I don't even know how he does it, because you don't ever really meet Demon Hunters on the ladder. But this guy is just absolutely terrifying.
I was gonna say, like, how often do you think, like, how much practice do you think these teams even get against a Demon Hunter? He's really the only one consistently playing it. We see it here and there, but I mean, it's always Tren bringing it out, especially lately. So it's got to be some uncharted territory if you see Creed bring it out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really trying to think why the Mistweaver Monk. The nice thing, I guess, is you're like highly mobile. So you're highly mobile and you have, you know, instant crowd control, but a Paladin has that also. I mean, you could cheat torpedo over, you get the paralyze into the leg sweep, or you could just divine steed over and Hammer of Justice into a blinding light. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, mana could be their win condition. We'll definitely have to wait and see what Creed decides to do. And how they could get it done. Because in game number 1, they did have decent offense. Drainer just going to be crossing the map right away. And do they have any follow-up damage? Looks like they're going to be going after Morrow. Dragon's Breath now on a Drainer. Double leg sweep lands into a potential Song of Chi-Ji. Drainer really trying to set it up. And we see this quite often. I mean, it can be difficult for a mage to go in and get crowd control if he's being tunneled down by a warrior. So you just bring in Drainer and he can go get the paralyze into the Song of Chi-Ji, get all the crowd control. And Saza, all he has to worry about is just throwing out a combustion. You know, and chill out. But unfortunately, they didn't really get too many cooldowns in that opening exchange, but still keeping the crowd control rolling. Big damage on Morrow, and he survived. He uses the Gladiator's Medallion. He uses the Mirror Image to avoid a little bit of damage. Big Song of Chi-Ji from Drainer, but it is going to be Saza now on the back foot.
That was really nice. Drainer's just kind of sniping that Song of Chi-Ji through the wall there, but not going to net them too many cooldowns there. And, you know, Ascraft still has basically everything. His wings just faded right there. So now Saza's going to be a little bit scared here as well. Taking a lot of damage from Blizzo there. Blizzo going to be reconnecting here onto Saza. Tren, though, doing a lot of pressure onto Morrow here. Morrow with no wings on Ascraft. Definitely going to be taking a lot of damage there. Still double stun coming out here. Where's the hunt, though? Does he have it? Could be a good time to use it. Nice Song of Chi-Ji here from Drainer. He has a leg sweep here as well. He's going to get it. Big leg sweep, but Morrow gets actually clipped there on the shield. Clips them back from Saza, and that was a big mistake by Saza. Now he's going to be on the back foot here, taking a lot of damage. No Kleptomania, no shields here. Drainer's counterspelled. Morrow looking for the crowd control, but not able to find it. Ascraft now in the sheep. There's the combustion. Big push here onto Morrow. It's going to be the trinket sacrifice from Ascraft. And look at the sacrifice ticking Ascraft's HP so hard there, like 20% or so per tick, doing a lot of work there. Big push, but a nice answer there from Ascraft. Going to keep skill cap nice and healthy in this match.
I've sacrificed everything. What have you given? Says Ascraft as he gives his entire health bar to Morrow, but it sustains them, it keeps them in the game. Skill cap still 1 up in this one. Of course, the stakes here are a grand final spot. $100,000 being given away today alone for the European region, so there really is a lot going on. And Creed, they're showing up for it once again. Full polymorph on Ascraft, Morrow fighting for his life, and this composition, I mean, it just seems even stronger than last game on the smaller map. And good uptime on the mage, and here we can see the Song of Chi-Ji is flying through. Is it going to hit Ascraft? Doesn't look like it, as it does once again get pressure reversed over onto Saza, and now Drainer, you know, we're starting to see the weakness of that Mistweaver. He's got to keep his mage alive here.
Yeah, definitely. Saza getting low, but with that soul shape, might be able to get away. Blizzo's all over him and gets the ice block. Big damage. Blinding light on Drainer. They might just kill him. He's going to get potted. Darkness drops down from Tren. Can they take him down? Reverse magic on the polymorph. This darkness has absorbed so much damage, but the Kleptomania comes in from Morrow, cancels the shields, and cancels Creed in game number 2. Skill capped up 2-0.
That was just incredible. I mean, it's like what Adrian said earlier. Your 4th player is literally Blizzo. Like, that's
so
your
unfair.
Yeah, like, how do you win?
I mean, I really like it though. I love that Creed. Like, I think you can't go kind of hand v hand against this team. Like, you're gonna lose if you try and mirror them in like a warrior mage paladin mirror or something. I'm willing to bet. I'm betting my money on Blizzo every time, but they come up with something a little bit quirky here, and it has shown signs of life. Like, they almost took both these games. I don't know if it's going to be enough to beat the likes of Skill Capped.
Quirky's a good word. Definitely very different, but I'm curious to see what they do bring out in game number 3. But let's check out that replay here from game number 2. Zico. Hey everyone, I am here with Waz.
So
after
here,
that last
we actually had a really, really nice setup there onto Saza. And Saza's just trying to buy some time here, trying to bring the warrior into the room, but Drainer is Hammer of Justice. Saza goes around the corner, and here, I feel like he ice blocks a little bit too late there. And of course, Blizzo here able to just get the free shattering throw. And then here, Trent, look at this darkness. It's absorbing so much damage.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's like 100% effective there. And then he drops 1% HP right there. Maro cleps his shield at the same time as that darkness is ending. And Blizzo gets one big execute, of course, before Saza can clep all those shields back. And I mean, he can't clep them back when he's a little seed growing in the ground. So it's going to be a nice win there. And it comes down to a lot of small things like that. Of course, you know, we talk a lot about Blizzo, we talk a lot about Drainer on the Monk, but you also got to talk about the mages here. Whoever has to use that Kleptomania first usually is not going to be in a great situation. And from what I could see, Maro was getting the better hand of those exchanges throughout this match.
Okay, we're going to get that draft process started up very shortly for game number 3, but Skill Capped very, very close to securing yet another victory here in this European Finals for season number 1. Creed, very strong team here, but we're seeing them struggle a little bit here within this series. Like Healing Stats said, I'm going to use that word again. Quirky comps is kind of the name of the game here for Creed, but it kind of seems like they bring out new comps and they either make it work or they switch off, and they know when to switch off and make those choices. So heading into game number 3, Healing Set, do you think that they try that for a third time, that same comp?
I mean, it's so hard to tell with these guys. I think that's why they're such a fan favorite, right? Like, so many people love watching Creed because they do represent all of these different kind of ways of thinking about the game, different strategies and compositions versus what the other teams are bringing to the table. We've seen a lot of Shadow Priests, seen a lot of Fire Mages through some of the teams. There are some Cleaves, the Rep Warrior from Mystic as well. It's been really fun to watch throughout this tournament. But at the end of the day, Creed just always have something innovative and new. Tren, I think he lives for that. You said he loves to entertain the audience, and we love them for it. It's always great to see. I would love to see them go out on a different comp if they are going to. I think if they keep playing this, they're going to end up losing. They're not going to reverse sweep it. They got to try something else, and they have so many different options in their utility. I think keep the Demon Hunter. Maybe try a different healer on Drainer. The Demon Hunter looks really good in this matchup. Like, I don't think it's been bad at all. But that's what I'd like to see them bring out here. And I mean, if they do lose this series, they have another big series up against Method EU after this, right? So they've got to start looking at that as well. The Grand Finals, this is a good opportunity to experiment for that series, should they be able to fight back in there if they do lose this one.
Yeah, that is a very good point. We are in the upper bracket, so even if they lose this one and get knocked out, it's not the end for them. They can still make things work. But we are seeing Creed, I just like mesh those two words together, seeing Creed bring out this comp again. However, Drainer now on that Holy Paladin, and do we think this brings up their chances a little bit here, Ven, for game number 3?
I would say so. I mean, there's a reason why we don't see Mistweaver Monks very often. You do have some nice utility, but overall throughput just not super great, especially when healing into, Sharpened Blade. Blizzo just having a field day. They get the crowd control on Drainer. Then he comes out of crowd control. Oh, well, you're met with the Sharpened Blade. You're going to have to use a lot of mana, a lot of globals to actually keep your mage alive. And I mean, I, for one, when I play mage, would way rather have a paladin healing me. 2 breaks from crowd control. You have the ultimate sacrifice. I also wanted to say, it makes Kleptomania a little bit awkward for Saza when he doesn't have his own paladin, because what ends up happening is Asgrath can use the freedom, he can use the Blessing of Protection, and Saza can't really dispel it without getting rid of his Kleptomania, and then Maros is going to have a field day in the match. So I feel like it's important to have that paladin on your side, and I think this is going to go a lot better for Creed. Like Healing Stat mentioned, the Demon Hunter didn't look bad whatsoever. I think it just comes down to the Mistweaver Monk just didn't have the healing to give them enough chances to actually win the game.
Okay, well, this is Creed's last chance here. They have to reverse sweep it in this series, though, so it's going to be a very difficult turnaround from here on out if Creed does end up winning this series, because Skill Capped up 2-0 right now, but they're switching things up with their composition. They're going to Hook Point as well. Let's see what they can do here in game number 3. Oh, or is Skill Capped going to take this one 3-0?
Skillcap definitely on track right now. I don't even know what their consecutive matches score is going to be, but they were 7-0 in the circuit, and I mean they've been kind of doing a pretty good job so far here. I don't know, man. Are they just going to perfect the whole region here? They're very close, and I mean Creed, I would say that's their toughest opponent. I mean, if they knock down Creed here, their options are fighting Method again or fighting Creed again for the finals. So either way, you've had a good showing so far against both of those teams, and I think for Skill Cap, they are looking very prime right now to take down the whole thing, unless Drainer can upset everything here with his Holy Paladin. He's going to have to do a good job here, and they got the map for it. It's all going to come down now to Tren, Demon Hunter, Blizzo, Warrior. What would you rather have on your team? Who can kind of find those little micro outplays? What's better, the damage of the Warrior, the reverse magic and the darkness and the mobility from the Demon Hunter? Like, what's going to come out ahead? I think that's the big picture here.
It's really interesting to think about it like that, because I mean I have a back in my day moment, but it's actually for all of us because we're all kind of ancient in the scene at this point. Like where you used to have those arena teams, right? Like back in Raft, back in TVC, and you would just try go like 60-0 or whatever that scoreline is. Skill Caps are literally doing that to the European circuit right now. These guys are absolutely insane. Prophecy, I mean, he's been a huge addition for their team. Asgraf's been great all year. And then you've got Mara and Blizzo at the core. And these guys are here to play. They want to show that they can finish the job here with a clean performance in the finals. They're 2-0 up in the upper bracket. And now only Tren, Saza, and Trainer stand in their way for one more game here.
Yeah, really explosive start onto Asgarath. Managed to get him low, but looks like he will be able to hold on. Avenging Wrath healing going to be more than enough, but I like the fact that they're getting aggressive. Trendo and a Hammer of Justice. They're really making it scary here for Trend. He's going to use that Metamorphosis, try to get some leech healing out as he continues to just chase down Asgarath. On this small map, they want to go after the Paladin. See Asgarath just running a few laps around this pillar. Eventually, though, Trent, I don't know if he can stick. Let's see, he gets the stun. Do they have any follow-up damage? Marl's there. Double stun going to come in. Actually, a triple Chaos Nova from Trend. Really getting control of the game, and they are unrelenting here on Asgarath. Triple Dragon's Breath, potential Polymorph going to be landed. No, Blizzo interrupts that. Nicely done. And we'll see who Skill Cap decides to go after. I like that they went after Tren if he's overextending on Asgarath, but I think their main target really has to be Saza here.
And Saza right now is in a Stormbolt, but Asgard's in a Sheep here, so it's kind of a dangerous situation for Maro actually. But Drainer gets Sheep now as he tries to cross, and Saza's dangerously low. Drainer's actually going to use his Divine Shield and the Sacrifice, going for the offensive play now onto Asgarath. Can they get the bubble here? It would be massive if Asgarath can greet it. And of course, he's playing the Protection Legendary, so he's going to greet it using that Battle Master trinket as well. Asgarath now going to be massively ahead since he didn't use one of his breakers there, and Drainer used his most precious defensive, that Divine Shield, that now Drainer's in a full Sheep, has to use his trinket here as well. Darkness gets dropped. Disaster for Creed.
No.
Oh no, the Creederella story might be coming to an end here very, very shortly. They need to find something here. They need to find some pressure on the Asgarath again. Do a setup. There it is. No Protection Legendary. This time the Hunt from downtown. And that's going to be the Divine Shield. Creed really needed that one to stay in the game, Adrian.
Yeah, they really did, but they committed a lot of offense there. That was the Combustion, that was Demon Hunter cooldowns, and now, you know, they probably get one more shot at that in this series, or they are out down to the lower bracket to play against Method EU, and that's not going to be an easy matchup for either of these teams. Maro, though, he's actually taking a lot of damage. That's a beautiful crowd control chain. As we see the Hammer of Justice, they're swapping it over for one last hurrah over onto Asgarath. Are they able to take him down? The triple War Stomp, the play from Drainer that saw them make it through to this bracket, now once again coming out, but it isn't enough to take down Asgarath. He stays in the fight, and Skill Capped, you know, they're really looking good here. There's limited cooldowns available to keep Creed in the fight.
Definitely is. Let's see, Tren continuing this push onto Asgarath about 2.5 minutes into the game, and the pressure has been high for both of these teams. Skill Capped on match point. If they win this, they're going to be going to the finals. And the loser of this will be going down to the lower bracket to play against Method EU. Not a situation you want to find yourself in. Here it is. Big stun on Asgarath. However, Stormbolt now. Actually, a Hammer of Justice here on Trend with the Polymorph on Drainer. this could be the end of the game. Let's see what ends up happening. Tren managing to use that mobility to get away back with Drainer now. Drainer looking for some heals, throws in the Divine Toll. Tren gets topped off. Now Creed's going to be looking to go on the offense once again.
Yeah, and Drainer, 20 seconds left on his Trinket. If he doesn't get polished before that, I think he's going to be in a pretty good spot. And even if he does, honestly, Tren is the only one who could potentially go down. So there's a very small window to kill Tren here. They might go for it, though. 7 seconds left on the Trinket. They're going for Asgrath here. No Trinket, no Divine Shield as well. He does have the Divine Protection there, though. And it is going to be enough to keep him alive, Tren, with that nice Blessing of Protection there from Drainer, keeping him nice and aggressive here. But Drainer is going to have his Trinket back. His mana, however, is not looking too good. Full Sheep here onto Asgarath. Full Nova onto Blizzo. Saza looking to turn things around back onto Morrow, but Morrow also with excellent control so far. Shuts down the Drink, gets a Sheep onto Tren here. Nice Chaos Nova. Here comes the Hunt, but it gets Dragon's Breath by Morrow. Another attempt here, and this time it's going to go through, but I think Blizzo intervened there. I'm not sure. Still, Asgarath taking quite a beating here. No wings for another 10 seconds. No Divine Shield. They might just be able to kill him with pure pressure here. There's the setup. Stun on Drainer's Trinket. Stun onto Tren. He trinkets out. No defensive cooldowns left. Drainer's in a Sheep. Tren on 1% HP. He's going to survive. The last Sheep comes out. Tren on 1% HP gets sacrificed. I can't believe it. He is going to be able to survive it now. Trying to turn things around onto Asgarath here. So low HP. He has the Protection Legendary though, and it is not even going to proc there. Asgarath also staying alive with the wings. This game is so back and forth.
This has been crazy. You love to see it. Tren on that Demon Hunter is a real wild card. He's dead, then he's alive, then he's killing the opponent. It's been back and forth between these two teams, and these are the very best that Europe has to offer in the arena. So you love to see it. Asgraf running for his life. He's going to position further away. I think that's a smart decision, considering he does only have about 20 seconds left on that Divine Shield. That's a big win condition for Skill Capped if they can just survive until that cooldown on their healer, and it's looking good for it. Meanwhile, Drainer, he's got his wings up. He's trying to go in for some offense. So once again getting shut down by Maro, though Maro's just been having such a brilliant series, never to be underestimated, always playing so well on this Fire Mage. They're turning the attention to Blizzo. They know that the kill opportunity on Asgraf, it's mostly gone at this point, but Tren cannot contend with Blizzo at this moment in time. He's going to have to retreat once again as Skill Cap's looking better and better in Game 3.
Absolutely. I mean, Skill Capped right now, they're just absolutely dominant so far. Tren on the run once again. Blizzo is just all over him. A big Storm Ball, big damage from Morrow. Tren, how are you possibly going to survive this? 1% health, and he gets crushed. A nice setup, really capitalizing on Tren being out of position. Skill Capped, they claim this series 3-0, and they are looking absolutely unstoppable.
Skill Capped are now in the grand finals, and things are looking pretty good for them. They're 6-0 on the day so far, looking absolutely dominant with their Shadow Priest Mage, now looking even more dominant with their Warrior Mage. Who's going to stop these guys? Creed, though, they're not out of the tournament. Like we kind of mentioned earlier, they're going to be dropping down to the lower bracket to fight off against Method. And we're going to take a look at the last couple of moments here. I mean, honestly, the fact that Tren is even alive at this point is kind of mind-blowing, because he survived. He got sacrificed on 1% HP when he was kiting around a little bit earlier, about a minute before this. But Tren here doing an excellent job surviving on his Demon Hunter, trying to duck for cover here, trying to survive this situation. But here comes the Sheep onto Drainer, and Blizzo gets put in the ring. Asgarath here getting pressured by Creed, but Asgarath as well has every single cooldown back up. Just been playing such excellent defense, and then here Tren mispositions, line of sighting Drainer, then Drainer gets caught up in the Hammer of Justice, and at this point Asgarath is there as well, ready with the blinding light. Drainer has no trinket, nothing to work with, and that's unfortunately gonna be the game there for them, but they can still bounce back here against Method.
Yeah, I think the series that we've got coming up next is possibly the one I've been the most excited for all weekend long. Method versus, I mean, I want to say versus Tren, but versus Greed, because Tren is certainly someone who's just been, he's a pivotal player, I think, for the squad. And I mean, it's terrifying for both sides. I genuinely don't know who's going to win, and that's what excites me the most.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one coming up here. That it is an elimination round, Method EU versus Creed. So loser of that knocked out, and winner of it moving on to go to the grand finals. So very, very big series coming up here. But I mean, that was a very, very clean victory there in that last series by Skill Capped, and honestly, no surprise. I mean, I guess it is a little bit like, we know that they have this incredible record, but they literally haven't lost a single game. Not let alone a series. Like, they have not dropped a game so far in this tournament, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking unstoppable. Who's going to be the team to beat them? Maybe nobody will. Maybe they literally just perfect this finals, and that would be quite a feat. But at this point, I feel like we can expect no less from Skill Capped. This next series is going to tell us a lot, though. Creed versus Method EU. The one thing I will say is Method EU just got a lot of information. I mean, obviously they have the Windwalker, Fire Mage, Paladin prepared, but we've seen Waz on the Warrior. And what if Waz just plays the same comp we just saw Skill Capped run? What is Creed going to do in that situation? I think that could be a really scary situation, and maybe a potential reality here for Creed is they have to just play that same matchup they just got crushed in.
Do we want to make predictions? Because it kind of sounds like you guys it would be too difficult to tell. Again.
Yeah.
Does Method have a good answer for Ellie? Yeah, I guess if they play Shadow Priest Mage, I think we're gonna see some wizards in the next game. Next comp, I was gonna say. Yeah, I think we're gonna see some wizards. I think we're gonna see like Ellie Fire Mage from Creed, maybe some Shadow Priest. Fire Mage from Method, and I'm gonna predict Method. I think right now Method, they picked up that win against Reload Esports. It was pretty convincing, and now they're starting to ramp up.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with Creed on this one. Healing stat?
I think it's going to be super close either way. I mean, it's kind of funny looking at this bracket, right? Because Method EU and Creed both got 3-0'd by Skill Capped, so this is almost like a battle for second place we're about to see. Nothing wrong with that. I love second place. Second place is brilliant. But, I mean, these guys are also playing for another opportunity to play against Skill Capped. I don't know what comps we're going to see. I actually agree with Zuko. I think Method EU just looks more comfortable for some reason, which is a bit strange on the Shadow Priest Mage. Like, that looks like their forte composition, whereas they've got Waz on the bench, who has come in on the Warrior, the Windwalker. He plays all kinds of stuff, so I could see him being pivotal if they can make it work. I think if they're reliant on the Shadow Priest Mage, then Creed might have their number, but if they can bring in Waz as effectively as Blizzo just played, then I think Method EU has it.
Well, we are going to find out shortly enough. Coming up, we've got Creed facing off against Method EU. We will be right back. We're going to head to a break. We'll see you soon.